Africa is not a place you want to get lost in. "40 years ago, a mad Frenchman got lost in the African sands, and when he eventually got himself out, that's when he got the spark to create the Dakar so that more people like him could get lost again in the desert. This is beyond the back of beyond. We've been driving for 400 kilometers on dirt tracks. I don't even know where we are, probably close to the Namibia border. No mobile network, no Instagram. How are we going to survive? Well, we have a Land Rover. It's got a 4.4 liter V8 engine. We have the vast expanse of Africa to play around in. I think we will survive. Welcome to our first drive review of the Land Rover Defender Octa, the gnarliest, most powerful, most expensive range-topping Defender. We're going to be driving this on dirt tracks, in sand dunes, on beautiful winding mountain passes, great tarmac roads to find out if the Octa is everything that it is meant to be. And we're going to be driving in this beautiful expanse in South Africa. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share this video with like-minded enthusiasts, stay subscribed to the Evo India channel, and of course smash that bell icon to stay notified for all our video drops. So what is the Defender Octa? Well, first let me tell you what it is not. This is not just a go-faster SUV like all the other AMGs or the Cayenne Turbo or even the Urus for that matter. All those SUVs, they're pretending and trying really hard to be a car. They're lower, they got fatter road tires, everything's there. In fact, they don't even have SUV ground clearance. And that's where the Defender carves its own path. The ground clearance has actually gone up. It's got a much bigger engine. It's got wider tracks, new hardware, new suspension on it. This is a Defender that is made to go even better off-road and even faster off-road. You could say that the Octa is to the Defender what the GT3 is to the 911, a faster version of their icon. Oh boy, does it move. I'm going to go down to first. Sport mode, floor it. We are in Octa mode. The amount of grip is actually terrific. 140, 150. Oh. I would have liked the sound to be a little bit more vocal, more expressive. Sort of like the G63 that is shouting at you all the time. Maybe they should have just added a sport exhaust button on this. But that's my only real criticism on the Octa. Under the hood is the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 engine sourced from BMW. Now this gets mild hybrid tech to put out 626 bhp and 750 Newton meters of torque. Activate launch control, you get overboost and it goes up to 800 Newton meters and you get 0 to 100 in 4 seconds flat. Now these power outputs are similar to the earlier generation M5 CS. This does not get the new generation M5's plug-in hybrid system, none of those heavy batteries, but this still is a heavy beast, 2.5 tons. Now this engine, this has been specifically tuned for Land Rover's requirements. This is the car that Land Rover is going to take to the Dakar. From next year onwards, Land Rover is going to have a Works Dakar team. They're going to take part in the production category, not the prototype category. So very similar to the road vehicles. Later on in the year, they probably will have a homologation special. But everything that you see on the Octa is being done so that it can also take on the Dakar. And we are trying kind of like some of the stages that you would find on the Dakar. Visually, the Octa is taller, wider, more aggressive, and of course bigger air intakes. And this is functional to feed air into that big 4.4 liter V8. 2.85 crores also gets you a bit of chopped carbon on the outside as well as on the inside. Yep, the Defender Octa, it's going to cost 2.85 crores. That's G63 AMG territory. Not much has changed on the rear, except if you opt for the motorsport wheel, this looks really cool. So from the rear also the Defender looks really cool. Also, you get quad exhaust, but these have been pushed in to make sure that the departure angle is not affected. driving on these kind of roads as fast as you'd like. It's kind of like a rally driver's wet dream. Get to live out your Dakar fantasies for the day. Ground clearance goes up by 28 mm. That also takes overall wading depth from 900 millimeters to a full 1 meter. You can get 22-inch wheels with road tires or 80 tires, but these are the 20-inch motorsport wheels with Goodyear's Duratrack RT tires. These are triple ply tires, really good off-road, but on the road, the Defender Octa with these tires is limited to a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. This is plenty quick for the road. Way too much if you ask me. Stick the Octa in the regular mode, the auto terrain response mode, and the ride comfort is very good. The Defender, one of its key traits was always the plush ride, and it continues with the Octa. When you stick this into corners hard and fast, there is noticeable body roll. It's not too much, and it is a step up on the G63 AMG, but it is no Cayenne Turbo. You can really pile on the miles in a Defender, like with any other Defender. You always have this roar of the V8 engine, and that kind of drowns out the roar of these off-road tires. But that's until you get to 160 Ks, and then that's it. You're at top speed. This, in fact, isn't so much the environment that the Octa is built for, even though this is the environment that the Octa will spend most of its time on. What it's built for is fast dirt tracks. So let's switch back out there. It's not just that the Octa has merely been lifted, it also gets new front axle hardware. So longer wishbones, uprights, mountings, bushings, all of it to make sure that the roll center remains the same as the regular Defender. And most importantly, it gets the 6D semi-active interlink dampers that works like magic. These are actually washboards that I'm driving on. In any other SUV, you'll have that massive bouncing around on the washboards. Here you don't feel it. That's what these dampers do. The Octa is not just a Defender with a body kit and a big engine. Underneath, it's been thoroughly re-engineered to be able to do stuff that other SUVs just wouldn't. I'm driving at least 50% faster than I would in any other SUV on this kind of track. You can hear the V8 screaming. I'm in third gear doing 120, 130 Ks. On a gravel track, what do we use as a benchmark? A Cayenne Turbo, but you wouldn't drive a Cayenne Turbo on these kind of surfaces. In fact, all the high performance SUVs are more suited to tarmac and Urus S maybe, but not, you can't hammer it this aggressively on these kind of tracks. A G63 definitely you can, but again a G63 will throw you around also a fair bit more. It's a deeply impressive and convincing machine, this Defender Octa. Inside, you're hardly going to notice the updates on the Octa. You get more chopped carbon on the center console. Behind the seats, some more chopped carbon. These seats are what Land Rover calls body and soul seats, and it also gets 4D exciters in the seat, so bass thumps you in the back. And you have this Octa button on the steering wheel, and this button works magic. Okay, time to roll up the sleeves and hit the rally track. So we got the Octa in Octa mode. This is where we really experience how the suspension works, how it puts all the power down, and also how playful the Defender is in the Octa mode. So this track is actually pretty rutted. They've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. The tail comes out progressively. The tires, impressive amount of grip, can really dig into the surface. And then there's this ABS, the special tuning for the ABS, where they actually let the tires lock a bit and that creates like a mound of sand or snow in front, which improves or actually reduces the braking distances. The suspension even has a mode where it senses when it is in the air and then primes the dampers so that it lands properly, and the rebound is also perfectly judged and it doesn't bounce off the track. Look at that, how the tail comes out progressively. The steering rack also is quick, as quick as the Range Rover Sport SV, so you don't have to apply too much of lock where the dampers take the bumps. Now, what's a Land Rover drive experience without a bit of off-roading? So we've come to the mountains, the Cederberg Mountains, and we've got this natural rocky trail in front of us. What's in front of me is probably a 30 degrees, 35 degrees incline, but to me it looks like a vertical cliff face. And I think this is what demonstrates the breadth of abilities of the Octa. It's not just been built for going fast on dirt tracks, but it can also do this crazy bit of off-roading, rock climbing. We are in low range in the grass, gravel and snow mode. The suspension has been lifted fully, so it's got 28 mm more ground clearance than a regular Defender. That gives it a total ground clearance of 313 millimeters. There's no water out here, or else we could ford through 1 meter of standing water. Earlier on the drive, there were some showers, and Land Rover did get the opportunity to put the Octa through standing water. More power is always better. Oh, fuck. Look at this. Now, I know it's going to go up this because the Land Rover instructors are here, so they've obviously taken the Octa here. But if I were on my own, if you were on your own, no chance that you would think it would go up something like this. This is insane. And I guess that's what Land Rover want to showcase, the sheer breadth of abilities of the Defender and the Octa in particular. And now for the final test of the Octa's abilities, we head into the sand dunes. Driving the dunes is about reading the sand, knowing where it is compacted, also where the dips are. You don't want to go nose first and damage the radiator, but you also have to carry momentum up the dunes so that you don't get stuck either on the way up or right at the crest. The Octa also has full underbody protection, so you can take your liberties with it. Jan 2026, this is what you will see the Defender Octa doing at probably 10 times the pace, but it will be at the Dakar, carving its own path through the dunes of Saudi Arabia. To be fair, it's not like the Defender can't do any of the stuff that we have been doing for the past 2 days. For sure it can do it, but it won't be as easy. It won't be as much fun, that's for sure. And also, you'd be a little bit tired in the Defender after 2 whole days of driving non-stop through the day. This just makes things easier. It's, I guess, like 40% more capable, 50% more capable than the regular Defender. And of course, with this much power on tap, how can you not have a blast? Is the Defender Octa worth 2.85 crores? Well, is the G63 AMG worth almost 3 crore rupees? It's impossible to say. As a halo product though, the Defender Octa, oh my god, it is hugely entertaining. It looks hugely desirable. It is tough as nails. It's unlikely if you're going to spend nearly 3 crore rupees, you're going to be banging down dirt tracks like we did all the past 2 days. But if you do, there is really nothing like the Octa.